evening, Pittsburgh sports fans, and welcome to the Pittsburgh Sports Desk. Joining me are my co-hosts, Edward and Tracy. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, good evening. How are you doing?
How are you? It's always good to see your smiling face, sir.
Absolutely, William.
Yes, thank you, guys. It's great to see you guys too.
Yeah.
So this is our first show after the week one of the NFL season and the Pittsburgh and Jets 34-32 win week one. Let's break it down. Let's get into Seattle coming up next week. Heard the Mike Tomlin press conference. He talks teams up like they're the 2007 Patriots. Like it's just unbelievable. Like he had all this to say about Sam Darnold. Like Sam Darnold is the second coming of Joe Montana. Tom Brady, if you will, whatever. I mean, he talks. It's comical listening to his Tuesday press conference and how he just oozes with just with this positivity about the other team. I mean, I guess you have to do that. I guess it's
like oozing machismo, huh?
It's part of getting your I don't know. It's part of getting your team ready and prepared, I guess. But I want to get into Pitt football as well. I know they had a pretty convincing win against Central Michigan, and they've got a pretty tough game going into Morgantown backyard brawl Saturday at 3:30. Want to get into that? What's your thoughts on that? What's their Ed? What was their? They're what 3.5 favorites?
No, it started off with a 5.5 point. Now it's up to 6.5 points.
Okay, so
6.5 points. That's like a touchdown plus.
I was shocked as well, Trace. I really was.
Yeah, we'll get into some NFL news. Want to go around the league a little bit, and then I want to talk about this whole thing about Sidney Crosby. This keeps on popping up about him potentially getting traded. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. We'll see what transpires on that. I'm not real. I don't think it's going to happen, but I mean, the rumors keep flying for some reason. But Pirates, nothing really much to talk about. Riverhounds, I know, had a good win. But let's go.
Pitching tonight. That's about it, right, Billy?
What's that?
Skeens is pitching tonight.
Yeah, he's pitching tonight in Baltimore. Correct. So. But so let's get into this week one. Did you guys see this coming? Did you think that this was? Would you have ever thought that this is going to be a 66-point game against the Jets? I did not. I thought this was. And they said they had at what 37.5. I thought that was going to be about where we were at. So. What did you guys think?
I think the contributors were the unsung heroes, like the Skoronix. We didn't know that he was going to catch the first one of the year, right? I just think that guys like that stepping up and doing it made a difference, and I'm glad to see that Aaron actually has it still.
How about that? I mean, I tell you what, man, you want to talk about a good coming out party. I mean, geez, man, maybe I shouldn't say it that way. A good
comeback party.
Comeback party, yeah.
There you go.
22 of 30, 244 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 tutties on the day.
Yeah, I did think that I would see that out of the defense. I kept telling you guys the defense is not good. And
it is not good.
They cannot stop the run. Offensively, they cannot run the ball. And right. the only thing that worked in the second half, quite frankly, and this is as honest can be, is the stupidity of the Jets defense. They kept falling for those sad run fakes when they knew they can't run the ball. Had they just stayed in position, this would have been an absolute blowout. Yeah. I mean, the defense.
Their defense got lucky. I can't believe that their defense actually was able to compete with us. Just after watching it, we destroyed them. The only chance they had was going through Jones. If they didn't go through Jones, we were knocking them all over the place, and they were being flat back.
A short field is the only reason you won. You don't. I'm telling you, you don't have Rodgers, and you don't get the fumble. You're blown out. And Bill will tell you the same thing.
Well, we have Rodgers, and we didn't get blown out. We beat them.
Yeah, and if you didn't have clothes on, you'd be naked. Those are all facts. But Exactly.
And if we didn't have Jones, the game wouldn't have been that close.
And if you didn't have footballs, you couldn't play the game. If you didn't have a stadium, you couldn't play it in the stadium.
And if I had tires for legs, I'd be a bike.
Exactly. The Steelers are a very bad defense at this point. They're bottom of the league, and there's nothing that's going to correct it. They're old in the wrong places. They have injuries in the wrong places. I mean, their offense was absolutely mediocre until they started falling for those sad run fakes. I mean, it's all
their offense was not mediocre. They had 4 touchdowns on the day, Eddie.
I watched it 3 times today before the show. 40 minutes, and 41 minutes. I watched the very end. They are mediocre. They are just short field is what did it. They're lucky. They have that horseshoe up their ass. They can't beat Buffalo. There's no way. They can't beat Kansas City. There's no way. Can't beat San Diego.
That's why we're playing next week.
San Diego
Seattle coming in with 2 running backs.
San Diego,
Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker III. If Seattle doesn't run the ball 40 times, the NFL is absolutely fixed as we know it is. They should run the ball 40 times.
Can't beat San Diego?
Nope.
Yeah, you're right. They can't beat San Diego because they're no longer a team. They're in LA now.
Nope.
So
can't beat San Diego, formerly LA. Formerly before that, what were they before that? There's
crappy.
Before that. Yeah, you can't beat LA. You can't beat the Chargers. Can't beat the Rams. Can't beat they're going to struggle all year because they can't run the ball. And they can't.
Yeah, I mean, it was not a good 53 yards on the ground. That's not going to cut it.
Well, I mean, Ed, go back and look at Jonnu Smith, the jet sweep that he did, and I want you to pay attention to the left tackle. And I want you to tell me what defensive player he even touches on the play, let alone tries to block.
So you can pick out 4 or 5 plays and make each team look like they're absolutely headed to the Super Bowl. That is an absolute complete fact. You can go back to when he put out a very sad ball fake and the entire Steelers defense went for it. And he actually just, did whatever you wanted, did a gritty, held the ball. I mean, you can pick plays all you want and say the Jets are going to the Super Bowl. The fact of the matter is the Steelers have a bad defense and they cannot run the ball. Until those 2 teams are fixed, you can't win a Super Bowl.
I would take it one step. It's an atrocious defense.
Yeah.
It's an atrocious defense. It is not good.
They got all the money they spent.
And if they don't get the money is not coming.
Here's the thing. They outspend all other 31 teams the last 4 years. And this year, I think it was by $17 million. Like we talked with Ray Fittipaldi on this last week. You gave up 107 yards on 19 carries to Breece Hall. What was the total? 182 yards, I think they gave up rushing, 394 total. I mean, that's terrible. I mean, you're not going to win like that. I agree. You're not going to, if you continue to do that, you're not going to win. You're not going to win like that. And,
I think Benton needs to play better on that defense. And I also think that Wilson needs to play better on that defense.
Well, I tell you Hayward, I mean, this guy pouts and doesn't want to, practice, wants a new, once his contract, they gave him this money and incentives, hey, it shows he hasn't practiced. He was gassed on that. I mean, it was blatantly obvious. His run stopping ability, just terrible. It was bad.
Ukulele or what? I don't know how you say his name. Ucali? I don't know. Whatever. I was not impressed by him whatsoever. He ended up 3 yards in the end zone on Justin Fields' touchdown because he got driven back there.
Yeah,
just not impressed with those guys.
No. Just going back, looking at Mike Tomlin's presser, he said offensive line shortcomings. He said, Broderick Jones and Fatano, he called both those guys out, and says that Aaron Rodgers was hit too much. I totally agree. He was sacked he was hit 4 times, or he sacked 4 times.
Yeah.
He was hit probably another 3 or 4 times in that. He was hit way too much.
The very first offensive play of the year,
he sacked.
Jones gave up a sack.
Right.
We talked about this.
And I said that in our pregame with John, and I said that with Paul Zeiss. And I said this was Zig Fracassi. It was me, John, Paul Zeiss, and Zig Fracassi on all at once. And I said flat out, McDonald going against Broderick Jones. I said Jones better pack a lunch. This has been a long day. This guy, what he had? How many sacks did he have last year? 10 sacks. Mm-hmm. And Jones gave up 10 sacks last year. I mean, and it was blatantly.
How many he gave up on Sunday? Just one, or I thought it was several.
No, he gave up a couple. He gave up one late in the fourth quarter as well. In the first
We
possession.
talked about this all building up. We know the tackles aren't good.
No.
And he has to do something. Here's a question for both of you, since I'm not a Steeler fan. What does he need to do to earn that fifth year? Because they have to decide in the offseason to pick up his fifth year option. What does he need to do?
I mean,
a lot better than what he did Sunday. That's for damn sure.
he's got to do. He's got to not. Yeah, he's got to be more effective at and protect his damn quarterback is what he needs.
How about less than, what was the sack number there? You said, Billy. You said 10. Less than 5 sacks. He should get a fifth year option on the year.
Yeah, right. Agreed. No, I mean, rushing game. You managed only 53 yards in the game. I mean, you started off with Gainwell. You're giving the rock a lot to Gainwell. Then you slowly worked Warren in. But it was just you had that was bad. I mean, Rodgers, he had to throw to win that game. I mean, and thank God we got Aaron Rodgers. Thank God thank God we got Rodgers. That's all I got to say.
It is one game too. They're going to face many better defenses.
You're right. It is one game. You're right.
He's not getting any younger, huh?
And here's the thing. No. Here's what they did. So they reward Cam, right? Give him whatever the money is. But they, for damn sure, better break their stupid rule if we don't negotiate during the season and give that kicker money.
Oh, great!
Give him the $1.9 million he wants. Again, they don't have.
Well, they broke to give Cam $3 million.
They're not broke. I just checked it. $26 million under the cap. They have more than enough funds to give to the kicker. And they
didn't say they broke. They're broke. I said they broke and gave Cam $3 million.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, Eddie.
But they should definitely pay the kicker. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
They have a stupid rule where they don't negotiate during the year.
Well, yeah, and that's a stupid rule.
It is. All this is theirs. No one else does it. Plenty of people get paid. I'm curious to see what they do, because then that's another failed first round pick. And I'm tired of people saying that the Steelers know how to draft. They don't know how to draft first round.
They don't know how to draft.
They don't. And because Trace, I'm with you. 16 games, he gives up 4 sacks in 16 games. I'm giving him a fifth year option. 1 every 4 games, yeah. And that doesn't mean he's not going to have hurries and stuff, but we're talking about an actual sack. Right. If he gives up 4 or less the rest of the year, I agree with you. It's worth it. Because he's never made a Pro Bowl or anything like that, so his option's going to be cheap. But other than that, the dude doesn't get an option. And the other guy, Fautano, doesn't get one because he hasn't done anything.
Yeah, and he's
injured. The fact of the matter is,
he's had that injury issues in Oregon. I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that Tomlin said also. Defensive concerns. Well, go ahead. Finish your point on
my point was just to Tracy. He's playing offensive line. And this is just a guess because I didn't play offensive line. Is it easier to take your hands, put them on the person in front of you and try to move them, or to do a chop step, headed backwards? Maybe you miss your step and block them that way. Which is easier? For me, a guess would be it's easier to run block than this pass block.
Yeah.
But you were the offensive lineman, so what say you? Are you frozen or thinking?
He's frozen. I think he was
both. You missed the frozen face. That was
yeah, you're like,
was that a good frozen face?
Oh my God, was that good?
I was sitting there and you guys all of a sudden start spinning. What the hell were we talking about?
Easier to pass block or is it easier to run block?
Right. The aggression level. If they're not running the ball and they're only getting 53 yards on the ground, the linemen are just catching. I don't know if you watched or whatnot, but Jones never really fired out. Even when he's pass blocking, he drops back, he catches, and he tries to hit like a catch. It's almost like he's having his arms out and trying to pull his arms back as the defenders come instead of actually popping them and slowing that rush down.
Yeah.
Like he's almost kind of like, yeah, exactly.
He's like a spring, but he's not coiled up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, your quarterback, Rodgers got hit too much, and I tell you what, that's gonna, if that continues, boy, you're gonna see Mason.
Long.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna see Mason Rudolph in there. Defensive concerns, guys. Subpar performance. I mean, you surrendered 182 rushing yards, 107 to Breece Hall, 394 total yards. you've got to look at a different defensive scheme. You got to look at something here because this is not good. So,
yeah, totally. Whatever they're doing is not working. It's obvious.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. It's not working.
Well, gap management is poor. That we know that. You could see it.
Yes.
Gap management is poor.
Couldn't say it better. Yeah, it is very poor. So, I will say one thing. They did have some. They had resilience in late in the game. I mean, when you had that, one thing that stuck out to me was that key third down stop by the defense before they had the game-winning drive. And I want to talk about this too. What did you? That call on Jalen Ramsey was terrible. That was a terrible call.
It's the rule.
I
had this with Dr.
I disagree with you.
It is. Okay? It's the rule in the NFL. How can you disagree? You can't do it.
Yeah, but he stepped around the would-be blocker. When you look at it, he stepped around him, and even the guy that I forget who they had. That was an ex-official. Even said he wouldn't have called that. So I disagree.
It's the rule. You're arguing the rule. You're not arguing the enforcement of the rule. You're arguing about the rule, and you're not having a pulling guard. It's usually for offensive linemen, but it's also expanded. I can't remember when they expanded. It expanded to anybody who's in blocking. So he's not a traditional offensive lineman, but as he looks like a pulling guard. So that's why they have it in there. So they don't want people taking. And if you look closely at the play, he did hit him, and his knee hyperextended. I froze it with Dr. McCown over and over again. Put it on the big screen. Showed him his knee hyperextending. That's the whole idea of why they want to get it out of the game. You can argue the rule all you want, but the enforcement of the rule was accurate. And that's the problem with the NFL is you have referees with their own judgments. There's no consistency.
Yeah. It's great.
I guarantee you, if that happened to a Steeler, the opposite reaction would be, I can't believe they didn't call that.
Yeah.
Right, because it's not really black and white, right, Ed?
Well, it is black and white, but other colors too.
So. No,
I mean, I saw
that play too, Billy. That was not black and white.
I saw him stepping around the would-be blocker to make a low tackle. Is what I saw.
I can send you the freeze frame of his leg hyperextending if you want.
No, I watched it. I already watched. I watched the game live, and I watched 2 condensed versions of it too. And I stopped and paused it and did the same as you. And I didn't see the need to call that. So
me too. Yeah, the next reel I saw was Jack Lambert saying we should put skirts on the other players too. Yeah. So that's along the same lines.
Arguing the rule, which as a defensive back and playing in the secondary, it's hard coming up against a massive human being. You can't hit him up high because you're going to get pancaked. So it is difficult. But he did in fact make contact with his lower half, and that's why they called it.
He grazed him. It wasn't that. Well, no, it wasn't. I mean, it was not a.
We can share on this, can't we? Hold on, I'll pull it up. Keep going.
It didn't look to me like a cut block. Okay, like it was not your traditional cut block. Period. I mean, okay. I mean, I'll give you this. If you want to enforce that rule, then I guess you have to call something like that. I guess that's but. That's
the same thing as a wedge blocker, right? Or wedge busters. They got rid of wedge busters for that same reason. You don't want that big body person coming out and people taking them on head. You want them going low and avoiding the collisions. Now they can't do that. Where are they supposed to play the game?
They can't. I don't agree with the rule. I'm just telling you it isn't a rule. Yeah. And they also missed another one when you had what's his name? One of the people that were coming after Rodgers. He slipped a little bit, was engaged with the guard, and the tackle hit them. What's that? That's a penalty as well.
Yeah.
And they missed that. The referees missed that.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Rodgers let them know, too.
It's also it's going to work itself out because you're going to make bad calls everywhere.
Yeah.
But that, in fact, is the rule. Do I agree with it? No. How is a 195-pound defensive back supposed to engage a 340-pound lineman?
Right.
Except for go low because low person wins. We all know this. We played,
Right.
But
that option's not there anymore.
What's that?
But you can't do that anymore. So now what are they going to do?
I know. I agree with that.
How do you play that then?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's talk about the injury to Deshaun Elliott. Who knows? I mean, we don't know the extent of it. But you signed Jabril Peppers. I'm surprised the Patriots got rid of him.
Yeah. He has off the field issues. That's why.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has some versatility. I mean, he's played multiple safety positions, and I know he's played some special teams as well. So
Billy in his prime, he was fabulous.
yeah. So, what'd you guys think about that hit that on Ramsey, or that hit that Ramsey delivered there at the
End of the game. How can you argue with it?
Yeah.
I thought it was great because the guy who he hit and the guy who coughed up the ball had been running his mouth all game, talking like he was big. And then it was that play that Ramsey showed him how small he was. And there was another play where Ramsey may have been a gunner, and Wilson and that other guy were trying to come after him. And Ramsey kept telling him, "You guys are too small to do this. You guys are too small to do this."
Yeah.
I just thought that was fun.
Yeah. I like Ramsey. I think he adds a little bit of an edge in that secondary. He's probably happy he's off the Dolphins, because listen, I tell you what, and we'll get into this tomorrow night when we talk. The Dolphins are soft. They're a soft team. They're not mentally tough. They're not physically tough. People in that locker room have said that. And he's on a better team for that. I'm happy that he's a Steeler now. So.
Yeah, just to add on to that, because you can't caveat, because caveat is a warning. So just to add on to that, I agree that I watched the Dolphins and Colts condensed game. How in the world, in any world that we live in, are they the favorite in the game on Sunday as they host the New England Patriots? They are 1.5 point favorite. How?
Yeah, I don't know.
How?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah,
no clue. He talked about Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson only had 10 snaps, and he said that all it was based on game plans and matchups.
No, it's not. That's such a lie. He's a bust. They just don't want to admit it.
I kind of
because they're getting ready to go for 0 for 2 for that draft. 1 and 2 picks were just busts.
Right.
I mean, that's where they're.
I'm not happy with him whatsoever. But geez, I forgot the other second wide receiver's name. I'm not counting him out anymore. I'm calling him a 2B now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I'm going to say this. I'm going to go. I thought Fields. I'm going to tell you something. 16 to 22, 218 yards, and a touchdown. 48 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. I tell you what, he was accurate. He was poised.
Yep. He was coached well.
Yeah.
Look, to me, I think Aaron Glenn's a good coach. I think he's going to be a very good coach. He looked different. He was accurate. He was balls on accurate, guys. I just thought he was very accurate passing. And he looked good. He did really look good. I thought Garrett Wilson, he had 7 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown. I thought he looked good. Some turning points I thought was the fumble on kickoff returned by the Xavier Gibson, the Jets, in the fourth quarter. It led to that touchdown. It turning a 26-17 Jets lead into a 31-26 Steelers advantage within 50 seconds, basically. I thought the Jets missed some opportunities. Obviously, they had 2 failed two-point conversion attempts. So there was, but like I said, that key defensive play, Jalen Ramsey sealing the win by breaking up that Justin Fields 4th down pass, 25 seconds left, forcing a turnover on downs. That was sweet. Obviously, you had that Aaron Rodgers led that game-winning drive, and the man Chris Boswell hitting a 60-yarder. And by the way, that had about 6 or 7 yards to spare.
Hey, Billy, why don't they do that? Remember they used to do that? Was it Thursday nights or Sunday nights? They used to do it like baseball, the estimated thing. What was that? Sunday Night Football when they did that? Where they'd have the field goal kicked, and then it would show how far it would have actually gone. How.
Oh yeah. It was
cool.
That was. I don't know why they got rid of that. I have no idea.
Was that Sunday Night Football?
That was Sunday Night Football. That was ESPN.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Because the field goal would go through, and it would, whatever it would say, like it was 48, it would say 57 yards. Because I think that's cool. I think they should go back to that. Baseball does it all the time.
Yeah. So.
Well, Billy sent me and you that Sports Science. Remember that show, Sports Science?
Yeah.
I'd like to say brought that back too this past week when you sent us that, Billy. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Rodgers, like I said, threw 4 touchdown passes. Hell of a debut for Rodgers. I mean, I said Fields looked good. There was anything else that I'm missing on this game?
No, but the guy at Sports Science, I remember correctly, he killed himself. He committed suicide.
Yeah.
The host of Sports Science, which was tragic. But I think overall that they have a lot to work on. I mean, if I were a Steeler fan, I would be encouraged because just as Philadelphia did, Philadelphia knew they sucked. So Philadelphia went and signed Darius Smith, and they also went and traded for Tank Bigsby because they knew they had issues. And the Steelers, immediately went and got Jabril Peppers. I don't know if they signed another quarterback. I read maybe was I reading that right?
Well, they had Skyler went to the IR, I think. Eddie.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this, despite the offensive success, not on the running game, the Steelers did benefit from a lot of Jets penalties, and they had a critical turnover, and that's kind of.
But I think it proves a lot of, or the Steelers have a little egg on their face too, because I think had they stayed with Fields, he would have been fine.
Yeah.
More explosive on the ground than.
Yeah.
I mean, he was laughing at people as he was running by him.
I'll tell you something. I thought the defensive front for the Jets was good. Like I said, Will McDonald, he ate Broderick Jones' lunch a couple times. Quinnen Williams, I thought, played well. But I'll say one thing: the secondary for the Jets, they had some coverage busts. There was some coverage busts for sure.
Tons of them. They
It almost looked like they weren't there. We were just throwing all over them.
They couldn't cover those sad run fakes. That sucked those safeties in every time.
Are we even going to talk about the first pass that was completed? If I'm not mistaken, was for Freiermuth, the tight end over the middle.
Yeah.
Ed,
say again.
Don't give me the say again stuff. The very first pass that Aaron threw and it was caught was Freiermuth, tight end over the middle.
Okay.
Well, you always say we never throw over the middle. That answered the question. We talked about that for 3 months.
Well, that was a fact because Tomlin doesn't let people throw over the middle.
That's a fact, Jack.
We had that. We called it factual too. Will Aaron Rodgers be allowed to do it? And we found out that he is allowed to do it. But that's a coaching thing. That's Tomlin being just moronic. Like you can't throw the ball in the middle. Like the whole world throws the ball.
It's a moron.
It's a moronic. I mean, they use the tight ends. What did the tight ends do?
John who had a touchdown, right?
They had 3.
And Broderick didn't touch anybody on that play.
They had 8 receptions. That's it. Yeah, 8 receptions.
That's the other thing, Billy. Talk about Broderick, right? I know Fautanu had a little bit of trouble, but it wasn't quite like Jones. When you watch the game this Sunday, pay attention when the ball is snapped. It's about 2 seconds later. Jones stops and looks for the ball and watches the ball carrier run the ball instead of blocking people. He did it at least 50% of the plays. He stopped blocking early to watch the ball carrier carry the ball when he should have been engaging in a defender.
Right. He's just not very good. He got away with playing bully ball because of his size in college. And,
right. There's no technique there.
Well, because he didn't have to. That's the thing. He was playing inferior opponents. And Billy likes to say, when they played the barbershop from the Athens
primer game.
Yeah.
And with that said, Eddie, I'm not too impressed with these Alabama athletes. All of them coming out never seem to really pan out for us. Even the one quarterback that you were talking about had a high grade score. He's terrible.
He is bad. Yeah. He's bad, man. He's bad. They just benefit from overall speed. Their technique is not very good at Alabama, but they have overall speed, and speed just eliminates the competition.
Yeah, that's a true statement.
Yeah.
True. All right, let's. I like what Roger said at the end. He said, he said, it always. What did he say? He said, I was glad to beat. What did he say?
Everyone associated with the Jets organization.
Yeah. Which.
And then I think he said, "Live long and prosper." Something like that.
Nano.
Well, no, he said that because that other coach told Aaron that he wasn't going to be able to do it, and he said, "Yeah, he did say that." And so, yeah,
really, the story was he was actually let go by Woody Johnson's teenage son.
Yeah.
That's why he said the entire organization.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, because his son was. He also had another one where his son's just like out of control and involved way too much. That's what his biggest dig was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Fields could have said the same thing to the Steelers. I'm glad to have performed very well. He put up 32 points. It wasn't his fault.
Right.
He could have said the same thing to the Steelers. Glad to show
And
them.
he did show some resolve, as you were saying, Billy. I thought where Fields really showed resolve after he faked that handoff, held the ball, and Watt just completely destroyed him in the second quarter, whatever.
Yeah.
When he went back to that fourth quarter and he did it again, that was a real big gut check for him to hold on to that ball and try that again.
Right. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, good point. All right, let's look ahead to Seattle. Obviously, it's Aaron Rodgers' home debut. He had, like I said, strong 4-touchdown performance in Week 1, making his home debut at Acrisure. You also have DK Metcalf. I mean, I think it goes without saying. I mean, they asked Tomlin about this in his weekly news conference about, is there any is this a different game for DK? Is there any motivation? Of course, there's motivation. He's facing his former team. After being traded in the offseason. Of course, there's motivation. I mean,
it's come down a whole point. The line, it was 3.5 to Steelers. Now it's 2.5.
Yeah. Huh. The Seahawks. I mean, I know it's kind of a different team now than what they had last year, but in 2024 they had a pretty impressive road record. They were 7-1 away from home, and they were particularly strong in the East Coast. 10 a.m. Pacific time kickoffs. They were 3-0 last season. I don't know. You got Sam Darnold coming in. I know they lost against the Niners last week. Little different team now. You got McDonald at the helm coaching, and it's a different team. It's a new look. Seattle Seahawks. I think when you look at it like defensive matchups, I think the secondary for Seattle is a little suspect. I think they're going to have their hands full trying to contain Rodgers. I think it's basically the running games of both teams are bad right now. Seattle struggled Week 1 against the Niners to run the ball.
They ran for 84 yards.
Right. So, I think establishing a run game crucial for both teams. I think especially Rodgers. I mean, we have to establish a run game. What do you think? Defensive front of the Steelers, TJ Watt. You're going to have to pressure Sam Darnold. You're going to have to put some pressure on him. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
What's their tackles like? Because right now, this quarterback is not like the last quarterback we played that can get out of it. And I thought they did really well for the most part containing Fields. But Darnold is not – this guy's not the same. He's not going to be able to move like that.
Right.
Their tackles are brand new. They're young.
Yeah.
They're draft picks. They're homegrown.
That's why they're going after a fullback then, huh? And they're just pounding away, aren't they?
Well, I mean, they are going to do it against the Steelers. They didn't have that much success doing it against.
That only makes sense.
They didn't have any success going against the Niners on that.
Only because the Niners have a younger defense. They're better up front.
Yeah. So.
But their tackles are two of their draft picks, Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas, who are good. It'll be tough for them.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked that the line came down a full point. That's not normal.
Yeah. Looking at some injuries, Deshaun Elliott, knee. Derek Harmon, obviously, knee ruled out. Malik Harrison, another guy with a knee. Cornerback Joey Porter, hamstring. They said he's going to be evaluated at the end of the week. Nick Herbig with a hamstring as well. I know on the other side of the ball, you've got Calvin Anderson, an illness. What else? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Calvin Anderson, never mind. On the other side of the ball, Devon Witherspoon, their corner, didn't practice today. I know Derek Young and Jake Bobo are questionable.
Jake Bobo,
and so is Nick Emanwari, the safety. He's questionable as well. So
that's a big boy there, man.
Yeah.
That number 50, Harrison.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch that last game there, every kickoff and every punt, he was on the ball.
Right.
I really think we're going to feel that guy not being there. He was doing just as good as a Miles Killebrew for us.
Right. What did you think? I mean, let's go ahead and pick them. What do you think about this game? I'm gonna go Steelers 28. I'm gonna go Seattle 17. 28-17 Steelers. Trace?
35-23 Steelers.
Ed?
I'm going to say it's going to be 13-11 Steelers.
God. Okay. 13-11 Steelers. Okay.
Yep.
That makes about as much sense as wiping before you go to the bathroom, Eddie.
You know, you do. It's more comfortable when you go to the bathroom. I always have to have a comeback for him. Come on, baby.
Any other things that we missed? Any other things you guys wanted to bring up with the Steelers? Anything that we?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I just,
let's hear it, Ed. Come on, let's hear it.
Long-term planning. What's their future like?
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to say
built to win.
Well,
purpose of the game.
My concerns in the off season, in the preseason, and are the same. I'm worried about the offensive line. I'm worried about Rodgers got hit too much in week 1. Okay, I'm worried about the defense. The defense was porous. Okay, they were porous. They were very, very porous. And I tell you what, it wasn't like we beat them by 2 or 3 touchdowns. We beat them by 2 points. And yeah, win's a win. I get it, but you still gave up 32 points, and you still gave up 384 yards to the Jets, and you gave up 180. What was it? 182 on the ground. 107 to Breece Hall. I mean that's not good. Not good. So they have to make some adjustments, or else I tell you what, you're not going to win like that all year. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're not going to win like that all year. And thank God we have Aaron Rodgers. I'm just going to say that. Thank God we have Aaron Rodgers.
So the Jets hit the quarterback 7 times and sacked them 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, how about that one time where his helmet come off? I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he got folded up. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what, it can't continue to keep taking hits like that.
Not in the mid-40s, no.
You can jump up and down and be happy they won week 1 and everything like that, but I tell you what, there's a lot of corrections that need to be made. A lot of corrections that need to be made.
Yeah.
So,
and how quickly will they make them?
Well, that's exactly right. How quickly will they make them? That's exactly right. And not a lot of time. All right, let's go around the league. NFL's kickoff rule change. First week leads to the highest return rate since 2010. Good. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy that they did it. I'm happy that the returns are back in the game. Great.
The averages, though, only to the 30. So you could just kick in the end zone and be at the 35. So they're just going to stop doing it. They're just going to keep booming it in the end zone after a while. Yeah. There's 5 yards is not that big of a deal.
Right.
As opposed to
I don't know about that. I disagree with you there.
It's not.
Right now, what I heard you say is the win for our special teams is if we pin them before the 30.
We're not talking. No. We're not talking about the Steelers. We're talking the average in the NFL.
Average in the NFL might be one way or the other. Like you might be right. Maybe they do that to get to the 35. But I really think the Steelers are going to try to keep them close to that 30 rather than 35.
Listen, I think that this you see it. I watched a handful of games in week 1, and you know what I saw? I saw a lot of kickers having to really be precise, right? They're having to really be precise. I saw one kicker in particular. It was funny because he kicked off, and right when he kicked off, he said, you could hear it. It was and he ended up. It was a bad kick. They're having to really, Ed. It's us being soccer guys. It's like that long ball that you're trying to, the ball placement that you're trying to do. You're trying to get somebody on an attack. You have that long lob. It's very similar. It's very, very similar.
So correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm wrong, 99% of the time. But it is a free kick for the kicking team, correct?
Correct.
So it could be a punt if they chose.
Yeah, it can be.
Mm-hmm.
So when are we going to get to that where they're just going to bring the punters in who are good directional punters and they try to pin them somewhere,
Do it.
I'm just curious.
Think about it. If you
I'm
kick just straight up and down at the 10-yard line like normal, you have a 50-50 chance of catching it down there.
Right.
Yeah. Because they're trying so hard, Billy, to hit that target zone that the ball comes in at such a low trajectory that it is an advantage for the receiving team.
It is.
Because they're able to almost run up on it, right? But if
they have a lot of momentum because you have guys that are at a standstill until they
like a punt.
Right. So they're getting momentum, and that's what you saw. Yeah. Trust me, I watched a ton of games. I watched condensed. Let me tell you, NFL Plus folks listening out here,
$99.
It's worth it. Like you watch a condensed game, it's snap the whistle. You don't miss a single play. Yeah. I mean, it's what at on average a game's 35 to 40 minutes.
Yep.
So I mean, I watch a ton of games. I've watched pretty much every game in week one. I've watched and I saw that. You saw that in on Monday night against the Bears and the Vikings.
Yep.
You saw that. I mean, there was a lot of it's an advantage because, like you said, they get the run up.
Yep.
The coverage team's at a standstill, right? So now they're having to react, and you got a return man that ran up to the ball and already has momentum and has the football.
Yeah, that's what I exactly thought you had. I'm like, this seems like they are going to move to a punt eventually.
Yeah.
Right, because it's a free kick. Why? I mean, it only makes sense. Your gunners get down there, and what are they typically doing? They're having to wait for the person to catch the ball,
right
before they do anything. They're looking for the fair catch and all that.
Right.
So even though they're a distance away, they're still going to have to start from a standstill.
Yeah, right. And what's a disadvantage?
Right.
And I understand they're trying to encourage
returns, but
at some point in time, it's going to be like it's going to get too crazy. It's going to get too crazy.
Because then you have teams will send in a left-footed punter to make sure that the guy catching a ball is different for them this time than it's normally because they're used to right-footed punters and my goodness.
You could all add all those advantages. I'm just shocked nobody's done that yet with it being a free kick because I think that's what it is in the rule book. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is in the rule book.
Yeah.
But I think that would be just a better thing to do.
Yeah. So finally bought Madden, and I'm gonna be playing it here soon. I haven't actually played it yet, but I want to see how it is. Like I know they have like all the the different things, the rule changes and things. Everything's added now, and they basically So I want to see how it plays on that. But like especially the kicks, like I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It'd be interesting. All right. Eagles, Jalen. I don't know why I threw that in there. It just. I'm happy I bought Madden.
Hey, share the wealth, baby. Play the game. Let us know, man. You can be our tester.
It's just.
There you go. Yeah, gaming.
You gotta love it.
You're such oh Lord.
I shot my Bogan today, Eddie. All the way out to 60 yards.
Eagles, Jalen Carter avoids suspension. Fined $57,222 for spitting on Cowboys QB Dak Prescott. What a
Yep.
I'm shocked. Isn't this one of those really good character guys? Wasn't he the guy who got really drunk with his friends and like raced him or something?
I mean, that whole thing, they're saying Dak spit. Dak was spitting on the ground. Okay, I don't know what this guy was doing. Like, I really don't know what he was doing. And to do that, right off the bat to do that. I mean, you lost two guys in
One to an ACL and one to spitting.
Yeah, and I mean, they basically said, okay, you avoid suspension because you were basically you were ejected at the beginning of the game and you served your suspension. I kind of disagree with that. I think he should have gotten more. How you can do that to another man is just kind of I don't know. It's just I don't know.
Well, the stupidity grows even more when it's a dead ball, right? Referees are not doing anything except making sure the players are staying away from each other, and to do it. I mean, he might
have a smile on your face. I mean, I
should walk him off the field.
Yeah, I just think that you're just a you're just a moron is what you are. You're an idiot, and it's just I tell you what, that kind of behavior that needs self-policing in the locker room. People need to, if I was in that, I would say, hey, don't even talk to him. Don't even acknowledge that he's. I'd be like Remember when Cartman ate all the chicken skins in South Park, and they refused to he thought he was dead. Yeah. That's how I would treat him in the locker room. I would just be like,
Big Dom escorted him out. I thought he was going to go all mafia on him.
Yeah. So. Bills add kicker Matt Prater to active roster. How about that game too Sunday night? Holy wow, what a game! I tell you, Matt Prater, he's 42 years old, and he was in literally in Arizona, and they called him, and he had like 3 days to get there, and he
Thursday he took the red eye.
Yeah, took the red eye Thursday, and
Friday morning.
Yeah, hasn't I mean, he was What a game that was, huh? What a game. I mean, they literally have no timeouts. You go down there, you set up the field goal, and you just time everything to kick it with no seconds left. It was
poor coaching, Billy. Poor coaching.
Well, I agree with that. I mean,
I'm totally agreeing with that. And they were measuring up. I can't remember which show it was this week, and I was listening to them with Tomlin and Harbaugh. There's actually talks about Harbaugh might not being able to keep his job because he's been so subpar. What has he done? What? You laugh. What has he done?
Come on, dude. Come on.
He hasn't done anything.
Neither is Tomlin. God almighty.
What do you mean neither is Tomlin? Tomlin's been better than him the past 7 years.
No, come on. Dude.
Yeah.
No. How many playoff wins does Tomlin have in the last 8 years?
8, none.
I don't know.
Okay. How many does Harbaugh have in the last 8 years?
None.
Been to the AFC Championship twice.
So no.
At least, well, I mean,
yeah, with a talented quarterback. So when Tomlin had his quarterback and Ben Roethlisberger, he was able to win too.
Football here, guys.
Right, but Harbaugh, he can't win anything with this guy, and it's his franchise.
Yeah. Niners cut kicker Jake Moody. Kittle's placed on injured reserve. I'll tell you what, the Niners. You have 9 at the start of the season. You have 9 guys on injured reserve. You've got 2 on the PUP list
because they're too old.
And now you're adding George Kittle as well. Well, and actually, they're not that old, actually. So, college coaches are ditching college jobs for the NFL. Yeah. So, JJ McCarthy, Vikings rally come along. Well, you know what? It was a good fourth quarter for JJ McCarthy. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that it was a good fourth quarter for JJ McCarthy. Let's just put it that.
Yep.
Like I said, Kittle out with a hamstring. Brock Purdy a little banged up. He's uncertain. So, Pitt football. Let's talk. Let's talk what they did against Central Michigan. 304 yards passing for Eli Holstein and 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns, too. So
the kid can obviously play, Bill.
Yeah. Williams Jr., 6 receptions, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Desmond Reed, 10 rushes, 46 yards, 69 receiving yards, 64 return yards. Rasheem Biles, 11 total tackles, including 1.5 tackles for loss. Zach Crothers had a sack and a half. Yeah, I mean, I will say this: Pitt jumped out to an early 24 lead again, in the second quarter, and they didn't really look back. I mean, I know that Central Michigan had that touchdown late in the first half after a Pitt interception, making it 24-10 at halftime. But I mean, they did. I will say that they did narrow it a little bit 24-17 in the third quarter. But Pitt, answered they immediately answered a 48-yard touchdown pass from Holstein to Williams. And after that, 47-yard kickoff return by Kenny Johnson. That was 31-17. And then they added 2 more rushing touchdowns in the fourth quarter, sealed the victory. I thought they were going to beat Central Michigan. I mean, I'm not shocked,
Well, I mean, back-to-back games, they did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. I mean, they narrowed that lead.
We couldn't always say that.
Yeah.
If they're able to beat West Virginia, Billy, they might be able to sneak a bowl in there.
Don't say too loud. Gotta whisper.
I mean, it's 2 games. It's really 2 primer games. This is going to be their first test, and that the Mountaineers are going to be up for this game.
Yeah.
Rich Rod's going to have them ready to go for this one. But I was a little bit concerned when that lead was narrowed there, 24-17. The middle 8, the 4 minutes before and after halftime was when that occurred.
Rich Rod lost to the MAC team. Pitt beat the MAC team.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Pitt held them to 47 rushing yards total. I thought that was good. I thought Holstein looked good.
Their defense is just flying around the ball.
It is. Yeah. They swarm the football.
Yeah.
And they're a force to be reckoned with. So, all right, let's look at the backyard brawl. I mean, obviously this is going to be pretty intense. It's going to be down at Milan Puskar Stadium at 3:30 Saturday. 108th meeting between the 2 teams. Pitt leading the all-time series 63-41-3. However, it's going to go on hiatus for a little while. You're not going to have another game until 2029. So enjoy this one. When you look at the last 2 backyard brawl, they've been decided by close margins. Pitt won in 2024, 38-34. West Virginia won in 2023 by a score of 17-6. So obviously, Pitt's entering this game 2-0, having defeated Duquesne and Central Michigan. However, when you look at it on the other side, West Virginia is coming off a disappointing upset loss to Ohio. Like you said, it sits at 1-1 for the season. So I think it's going to come down to Eli Holstein, Desmond Reed. When you look at it, Holstein's he's 519 yards in 2 games, 8 touchdowns, a couple interceptions. He's leading the ACC in passing efficiency and touchdowns. You look at Desmond Reed, 141 all-purpose yards against Central Michigan. I mean, like I said, it's against Central Michigan. Williams, Raphael Williams is doing a good job. I mean, he has, 7 catches, 2 touchdowns. I think, you got a stout defense. Like you said, they swarm the ball. On the other side, you got Nico Marshall for Mountaineers. He's thrown 402 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 69.6 completion percentage. I don't know. He started against Pitt in 2023, he was the one that led them to that victory, 17-6 in 2023. So we'll see. I mean, Jaheim White not being in there for the Mountaineers, that's big. I don't know. You lost against Ohio, which I was shocked by. So,
yeah, I was too.
I mean, Pitt's, like you said, Pitt's defense has been strong, allowing only 13 points, 208 yards per game, 5th in the nation in rushing defense. But I mean, these are primer games, So, but I tell you what, West Virginia's offense struggled mightily against Ohio. So we'll see.
Sounds like a match made in heaven for us here.
Yeah. It really does. Especially with the line going up a full point.
Right, stars might align.
Right,
they might. They come out of this, they could be 3-0.
Looking pretty good, right?
Yeah. Then they host Louisville.
Then they let you down.
I mean, they host Louisville after that, and then they have another game at home. So it could be something.
Well, I mean, listen,
they can beat Boston College easily.
Yeah, but I'm not willing to just go there and say that they're going to have a successful season yet. I mean, you beat Duquesne and you beat freaking in Central Michigan. This is going to be a tough test for them. You beat West Virginia now, and I agree they could beat Boston College.
So the season is essentially 3 quarters, Billy. The first quarter of the season, they come out 3-1. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's
really
pretty
good.
Yeah,
It's almost ideal.
Good. Yeah,
almost ideal.
That's pushing your way into a bowl. I mean, you don't, Yeah, no, I agree. That's setting them up for success. Let's put it that way. That's setting them up for success. So
real good.
We'll see what happens. Like I said, 3:30 kickoff Saturday. We'll see what happens. All right, let's move on to the Pirates. I know they're it's top of the ninth. It's 1-1. So we'll see what happens there.
Raining like crazy in Baltimore. Weather's horrible.
Yeah. I know. Just looking at it here, Paul Skeens pitched tonight. I'm not sure. I'm not bringing up the stats here. What he did, he's, I don't know. So, listen, I mean, you lost last night to them. What, it was 11th inning, I think.
Yep.
They had that RBI single, the walk-off RBI single for the Orioles. You extended your losing streak. You got your ass kicked by the Brewers. But
yes, they sweep the Dodgers. They lose the next 4 already.
Yeah,
and they're at 81 losses, so they need to basically win out to go 500. Will they do it, Billy?
No.
Well, they need how many though?
Not even close.
Win what they did last year.
We set it at this year. We set it at 77 over under,
and they've already gone over that.
They don't have 77 wins, Trace.
How many wins? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you then. What the hell did you say?
You either didn't hear him. You either didn't hear him, or your math sucks big time. I'm going to go with the latter. I'm going to go with the latter on that one.
No, 81 losses. So that's where they sit right now. They sit at 81 losses. So there's 162 games.
I mean, are we really shocked by this? I'm not shocked at all by this.
No, but I think they're still going to improve by a couple games.
Yeah. So
we said 77.
Who cares?
The thing is that
by a couple games.
Nothing describes the team better than the last 7 games. You sweep the mighty Dodgers, who are the defending World Series champ and a favorite to win this year.
Yeah, I mean, they do that stuff ass backwards. It's just ass backwards.
I agree.
It's just the dumbest. It's just I don't understand this team. I don't really. You know what? It's football season. I hate to say this, guys. I mean, we do a Pittsburgh show. We have to cover all sports and be happy, joy. We love our teams. But I mean, this.
You're right, though. It is interesting though because you swept the Dodgers, right?
Yeah, I mean that's just how does that happen? How the hell does that happen?
Yeah,
and then it's like, okay, guys, we did good. We swept. Now, okay, now let's try and lose the last, the next 6 games. Like
stay in balance. Stay in balance.
Yeah, literally, like, hey guys, you know what? Don't give your best today. Let's
balance sheet.
We swept the Dodgers. Like, let's just take it easy the next 4 games. If we win, it's fine. If we don't win, hey, let's just go out there and just take the field and see what happens. That's what it seems like.
Just hit a home run. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Oh no, that was a replay. Sorry about that.
You're an ass.
Still 1-1 with 2 outs.
Yeah. They're going to celebrate Roberto Clemente Day on September 15th. So that's good.
They have a documentary coming out about him.
Yeah.
Which his junior was interviewed a couple times.
Well, yeah, he's always interviewed a couple times. That guy. I mean, I hate to say this, but that guy, he lives off of his dad's. Like that is all that's his lot in life. That's all he cares. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Well, the estate probably makes a ton of money.
Go blaze your own trails. But whatever. That's a topic for another time. Yeah. All right, let's. Penguins are opening up camp. In almost a little over a week from now, guys. Yes, they've got I can't believe it's coming to coming this close now. Jeez, man. Crosby still have this trade talk. He's denying it. His agent indicated that trade rumors around are just speculative. Why do we keep hearing it though? I don't understand why we keep hearing this.
Because it's true.
Yeah. Well, I don't listen. I don't think he wants. If it was, it's not a Ray Bork situation, okay, where he's got to go to another team to win a cup and to cement his legacy. The guy already has 3 cups, 6 gold medals. I just don't like. Okay, maybe he would like to play as a Canadian. I just don't see first of all, the Canadians are. I mean, they're kind of a team that's kind of like. They haven't been good for a very long time. They're getting better, but I just don't think that he's – I don't know. I think it's very unlikely that Crosby would ever get traded, okay? Only if he requests it. He has a no-movement clause that runs through 2026-27 season. He stated numerous times he means focused on the Penguins, But, I mean, hey, a continued lack of – you know what I think this could be? This could be a ploy to get Lemieux back in the building is what I think as well. Too. This could be a way to kind of get him back in the building. Like I do believe that. I don't know. I just think that there's
that and $100 million.
It's true.
Yeah,
but I think that when are they not going to actually do a reset, which is what they need.
That's true.
A very good question. So
very true statement, Eddie.
Another big news. So radio broadcast changes. Former assistant coach Pierre Maguire is joining the team's radio broadcast in a limited capacity. I think that's great. I think it's great. I like Pierre Maguire. I want to hear him say Christopher Letang like he always does. He never calls him Chris. He always says Christopher. So, but no, I think it's great that he's joining the radio broadcast. I think it's awesome. So. But all right, Riverhounds last week, impressive win, 2-0. What'd you think, Ed?
It was a Sunday game. I was a little shocked by that, Billy.
Yeah,
it's 4:00 Sunday game. I mean, Augie scored again, so maybe he's not as bad as we think he is. But he came up with another goal.
He's good on the road.
I know they needed that for the standings because they're sitting 7th right now, and they really want to be top 4 to get that bye. So they're at 31. I mean, they're super close. 33 is the 4th place North Carolina FC. They win 1, they lose 1 coming up, and it's game on, brother. They're hosting Louisville this weekend, top in the East.
Yeah,
who's already clinched a playoff spot. It's going to be tough.
Be there.
Yeah, they've won 4 to their last 5, undefeated in 5 in a row. They have a draw. It's going to be this is going to really test them. The last time they went to Louisville, the away game that was a draw, that was the best I've ever seen them play.
Yeah,
And Bob talked about
the best ever had.
Yeah. What do you think? Like prediction for Saturday?
I think they're going to come out and they're going to do a nice high press, like Manchester City does, and I think they're going to win 2-0.
You think Riverhounds are going to win 2-0?
They need it more than Louisville does. Louisville's getting toward the end of the season. They sit at 54 points, which is by far tops in the entire.
So
MLS.
You think Louisville's kind of going to coast a little bit?
I think they might have that in their mindset. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Pittsburgh played them. I'm telling you, that was one of the better games that I've watched them all year.
And by the way, I want to just say this. I know this has anything to do with Pittsburgh sports, but this is a soccer. Just want to put a plug here in. Last night I watched a hell of a game between Costa Rica and Haiti. Yeah. I just want to say that it was 2-0 Costa Rica. They scored early in the first half. They scored like a minute and 30 seconds in. They scored again. It was 2-0. Haiti came back out and it was like a new team. I have a Haitian friend, and I'm texting him the whole time, and I'm like, I cannot believe this team. I mean, they got back and they tied it up, and it ended up going to a 3-3 draw. It was just amazing. It was one of the more comeback. It was just amazing how Haiti, they looked so terrible in the first half, and then in the second half, it was like night and day. Like it was just like night and day. I don't know what the coach said to them, and I don't know if he threatened them or what he did, but it was just like.
Well, I mean, he can't threaten to deport him because that's a gift.
Very true.
Great point, Edward.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how they changed on a dime like that, really.
Well, it was just like they had a penalty kick. They nailed that. Actually, he saved it, and he got the rebound and put it away. And then they got the other goal was a bicycle kick, and then they got another goal, and they actually went up 3-2. They got another goal. It was on a breakaway. It was just sweet, And then Costa Rica ended up late in I want to say it was the 92nd minute. It was 7 minute in stoppage time. They ended up tying it, and it went to a 3-3 draw. But it was just amazing. I was an amazing game. I was just like, I thought, oh, this is going to get ugly because Costa Rica is a pretty darn good team, and they have some guys. A couple guys played for Real Madrid, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a bloodbath. And no, Haiti, I give those guys credit, man. They willed themselves back into that match, but yeah, no, I'm kind of with you. I think we might see a 1-0 Riverhounds win Saturday. I'm with you. I mean, Riverhounds, they're hungry. They need this, like you said, they need this more than Louisville does. And Louisville's, you're getting to the point, we're in mid-September. I mean, they're getting to the point where you got to think about resting some of your guys you want them to be fresh for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you might be onto something there. So
they should be good.
So
saying it was their best game. It really was.
Yeah. So. All right, everybody. Hey, tune in. For those of you who don't know, I am on Steel City Sunday. I'm the executive producer for Steel City Sunday, and I'm also co-host. We do pre- and post-game show. We do it from the North Park Lounge in Gibsonia. We had a great show last week. We're going to have 5 guests this week. We're going to have Paul Zeiss. We're also going to have a guy from Seattle. I forget what I should have had it written down if I'm going to plug it. But we're getting we have a Seattle radio guy that's joining us. We also have a handicapper that's going to join us after that. And Mike Ostie with the mic drop. He's going to be there at 12. And Zigford Costi, NFL Radio, Sirius XM NFL Radio is going to be joining us as well. And so tune into that Steel City Sunday. Look for us at Steel City Sunday on X, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Check us out. Me and John Phillips do it, and like I said, we have a litany of guests, 5 guests this week, and we've got more and bigger announcements to come. We got a lot of stuff on the horizon. I'm actually very, very happy to be a part of this. So check us out, like I said, at Steel City Sunday on X, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So any final words, gentlemen?
Go Sports.
Go Sports. Okay.
Go Steelers.
Yeah, because it's going to be – I think it's going to be a good game. I think we're going to be in for an entertaining game again. So, but all right, everybody. Appreciate you for tuning in. Check back with us next week. Same time, same station. Thanks a lot.
See you later.